Wow. Now you can see why I said that even the bad times were good times. Wouldn't you like to have a boss like that? Thank you, David. Thank you very, very, very much. My involvement with Asset School came as a result of Pat McFadden, former board chair, inviting me to become a part of the board. And I knew a little bit about Asset. There were a lot of things I didn't know about Assets, like where was it? But I had heard it described as a second chance institution. And that's actually something that the community colleges are often described as second chance institutions. And so I said, okay, there's maybe something I can contribute and certainly something that I can learn. Oh man, I learned so much more than that. As I came to work with and observe the folks at Asset School, folks like Paul Singer, who joined us. It's been great, Paul. I even appreciate those phone calls where you start off with, John, you got to know this. Susie Travis, Ryan Mesa, Sandy Tadagaki, all the faculty and staff of Assets, working tirelessly to turn that bumper sticker on my car, great minds don't think or learn alike, into a reality for our students. They are working with passion, with compassion, and with immense skill at being able to take our students, build on their strengths, their goals, their passion, while fixing some of the problems that they may have gotten from education systems and helping them to learn to deal with the learning differences, because there aren't really differences. They're their way of learning. And they do it extremely well. They do it, and the students leave Assets with a greater self-confidence, a greater self-awareness, and the skills, the preparedness to be able to succeed at college and at life. And I know that because I hear it in the stories of the students at graduation. You'll hear one tonight. And I see it in the eyes and the smiles of parents and family and friends, smiles of pride and maybe a little relief. And it's just a marvelous institution. Over the last 10 years or so, it's been an interesting time for Assets, time of great opportunities. Paul came, Senator Inoue gave us the gift of being able to buy the land where the school was, to be able to take control of our future and not just be a tenant worried whether we were going to be evicted. The merger with the Academy of the Pacific gave us the opportunity to move the high school up to Aleva Heights campus, and Susie and her team have been able to turn it into a marvelous learning environment with a fantastic view. And that allowed Ryan and his team to be able to begin the construction and the building out of the K-8 campus. With the help of Lynn Waddell and you, and foundations like McInerney, we have now completed the K4 complex. I believe it is the first permanent building that Assets has ever had. And we're 50 years old. And our most recent partnership with our neighbors up Aleva Heights, Kamehameha Schools, is allowing both of our institutions to be able to further their missions. We've also worked very hard over this period of time to change people's perceptions of Asset School. We knew what was happening. We knew how good it was, but there was often that mistaken perception out there that Assets was that school for those students. And it is not. And we are now wanting people, and I think we're achieving people understanding that Assets is a unique, successful institution, able to adapt to the students rather than forcing students to adapt to us. I think, and I believe you think, because it's true, Assets is simply one of the best and most essential institutions in the state of Hawaii. So I have one request for you. Later on tonight, we'll have an auction. Our board dreams about the time when we'll have a big endowment and we'll be able to make sure that no student who needs Asset can't take advantage of it because of finances. We're not there yet. We'll get there someday. But in the meantime, we rely entirely on folks like you, on events like this, on auctions that will happen, to be sure that those students can benefit. So give, bid well, and know what you're doing is supporting some fantastic institutions. So I want to acknowledge all the folks at Assets, a board that I have enjoyed working with incredibly over the year. I made those things sound like they just all plop up in place. Yeah, it doesn't work quite that way. But they've been a powerful force in helping Assets, and I appreciate working so much with them. And I appreciate you folks, all the ones that have year after year supported the school. And finally, I just want to thank Pat McFadden for giving me the gift of Assets in my life. Mahalo.